Plop! A single drop of water falls from the sky. It merges with the vastness of the ocean. Tiny ripples spread out. That drop, insignificant as it seems, is part of something huge. It's connected to all the water on Earth. We call this interconnected system the hydrosphere. Water covers over 70% of our planet's surface. It's in the oceans, rivers, lakes, and even underground. Water is constantly moving too. It evaporates, forms clouds, falls as rain, and flows back to the sea. This cycle is called the water cycle. So the next time you see a drop of water, remember its connection to something much, much bigger. Imagine Earth wrapped in a giant blue blanket. That's the hydrosphere. It's all the water on Earth's surface and even some below. This blanket isn't just lying still though. It's always moving and changing. The biggest part of the hydrosphere is the ocean. It covers most of our planet. Then there are rivers, like long, winding snakes across the land. Lakes are like giant puddles, some bigger than you can imagine. And don't forget the ice. Glaciers and ice caps are like frozen rivers, slowly flowing over land. The hydrosphere isn't just a bunch of separate parts. It's interconnected. Water moves between the oceans, the atmosphere, and the land. This continuous movement is called the water cycle, and it's powered by the sun. The sun's energy makes water evaporate from the surface, turning it into vapor. When the clouds get full, the water falls back to Earth as rain or snow. Have you ever felt the ocean's currents? They're like giant rivers flowing beneath the surface, carrying warm and cold water all over the globe. These currents are like the ocean's circulatory system, and they play a vital role in regulating Earth's climate. The sun heats the water at the equator, just like the stove heats the bottom of the pot. This warm water is less dense and rises to the surface, while colder, denser water from the poles sinks and flows towards the equator. This continuous movement creates ocean currents. One of the most well-known currents is the Gulf Stream. It's like a giant warm river flowing from the Gulf of Mexico, up the east coast of North America, and across the Atlantic Ocean towards Europe. Ocean currents aren't just important for regulating temperature. They also play a crucial role in distributing nutrients and oxygen throughout the ocean. Section 4. The Great Rivers, Lifeblood of Civilizations. Rivers, those shimmering ribbons of water, are more than just beautiful sights. They are the lifeblood of our planet, shaping landscapes, supporting ecosystems, and nurturing civilizations for millennia. Imagine the Nile, the longest river in the world, flowing through the arid deserts of Africa. For centuries, the Nile has been the lifeline of Egypt, providing water for drinking, irrigation, and transportation. Its annual floods brought fertile silt, enriching the soil and allowing for agricultural abundance. Then there's the Ganges, a sacred river in India, revered by millions. It sustains a vast population, providing water for agriculture and supporting a rich biodiversity. The Amazon rainforest, often called the lungs of the planet, thrives on the Amazon River's abundant water supply. Section 5. Monsoons and cyclones. When water commands the wind. Water's power isn't limited to flowing rivers and vast oceans. It can even command the wind, creating powerful weather phenomena like monsoons and cyclones. Imagine the Indian subcontinent, where the scorching summer sun heats the landmass intensely. This heat rises, creating a low-pressure zone that draws in moist air from the Indian Ocean. This influx of moisture-laden wind is what we call the monsoon. Monsoons bring torrential rainfall, essential for agriculture in many parts of Asia. Now picture a swirling vortex of clouds and wind over a warm ocean. That's a cyclone. Cyclones, also known as hurricanes or typhoons depending on their location, can unleash devastating winds, torrential rainfall, and storm surges. Section 6. The Dance of El Niño and La Niña. The Pacific Ocean, vast and mighty, is home to a fascinating climatic dance between El Niño and La Niña. These cyclical weather patterns, driven by changes in ocean temperatures and winds, have far-reaching consequences for weather patterns across the globe. Imagine the normal conditions in the tropical Pacific. Trade winds blow from east to west, piling up warm water in the western Pacific near Indonesia and Australia. This creates a zone of low pressure and abundant rainfall in that region. Meanwhile, the eastern Pacific experiences cooler water upwelling from the depths, bringing nutrients to the surface. El Niño, the little boy in Spanish, disrupts this balance. During an El Niño event, the trade winds weaken or even reverse, allowing the warm water piled up in the western Pacific to flow back towards the east. Section 7. From raindrop to river to you water's unending journey. From a single raindrop to the mighty ocean, water is in constant motion, embarking on an incredible journey that connects us all. This journey, the water cycle, is powered by the sun and is essential for life on Earth. Imagine a raindrop falling from the sky. It might land in a river, joining a rushing torrent that carves its way through mountains and valleys. Or it could seep into the ground, becoming part of the hidden reservoir of groundwater that sustains plants and provides us with drinking water. As the river flows towards the ocean, it carries with it the stories of its journey, minerals from the mountains, nutrients from the soil, and perhaps even traces of human activity. Once it reaches the ocean, the raindrop's journey doesn't end. It might evaporate, lifted by the sun's energy, transforming into an invisible vapor that rises into the atmosphere. This vapor, now part of a cloud, might travel vast distances, carried by winds across continents. As it cools, it condenses, forming tiny droplets that eventually fall back to Earth as rain, snow, or hail, starting the cycle anew.
Like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon for more updates. Keep learning, keep vibing.